Hi everyone, I am Mrs. Esther Rani, Assistant Professor of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today we are going to deal with the oral presentations and PowerPoint presentation. Preparing or giving oral presentation is a part of academics, Preparing or giving oral presentation nowadays, it has become a part of academics. So here, presentation means oral presentation is the process of presenting a topic to an audience. Especially these oral presentations are one of the most important assignments in college courses, all the college courses. Scholars, professionals, and students in all the fields, they desire to, disseminate the new knowledge, what they produce. And this is often accomplished by delivering oral presentation in the class, at the conference, in public places, public lectures, and then seminars, workshops, or in board meetings or company meetings. These nowadays have become inevitable. Therefore, learning to deliver effective presentation is necessary skill to master both the college and further endeavorance. So here, let us go for, we have three steps of oral presentation. Oral presentation that was divided into three steps. One is planning, second one is practicing, and third one is presenting. These are very, very important in oral presentation. So planning is very important, means how to give presentation, what are the things that we have to decide in our mind. This comes under planning. What we have to decide in mind, that we need to practice a lot. Then only presentation comes. So oral presentation typically involve in three important steps: planning, practicing, and presenting. Once again, planning, practicing, and presenting. These are the three steps that involved in the oral presentation. Let us go in detail with these three steps. The first one is planning. Oral presentation requires a good deal of planning. Without planning, we cannot stand on the stage and near the podium to give presentation. So scholars, even great people like achievers and everyone, they prepare, they have a plan, proper plan. So scholars always, they estimated in such a way, approximately 50% of all the mistakes in this presentation actually occurs in planning stage only, rather other things. So we have a few measures, like a few issues, we can say that. So if you follow those, we can have a very good planning. Make sure that to address the following issues. Means here, we have a few things. One is audience. First thing, we have to check our audience. As a part of planning, when you start something to plan, to speak, to prepare presentation part, first thing what you should get in your mind is audience. Focus your presentation on the audience, means what sort of audience that comes to listen to you. Whether they are students, scholars, achievers, and lay people, or middle-aged people, old-age people, teenagers. So in this way, focus on the audience first. We have to keep in our mind what sort of audience that we get when we stand on the stage. The next one is organizing. Organizing our information is very, very important. Usually, very good speakers, they go with a well-organized information onto the stage. Nearly 5 to 6 or 3 to 5 points they'll take. They'll categorize complete presentation into 4 to 5 points or 5 to 6 points according to the length of their speech. 1 hour speech, half an hour speech, like that. So 4 to 5 points or 5 to 6 points, they just organize all the points. Then after that, repetition. So what all that you have planned, listening is much different from reading. So don't miss your audience. Audience are very important. How you are focusing the audience means these audience first see they'll see how you have organized your points, and then how you are going to speak about them. They'll observe, because you see every time these audience cannot go back and read something that is there on the slide or some like what you have written on the board. So like a speaker is very important for them. What all that you are going to speak, that's very important. So build reputation on very important points, means repeat important points again and again, summarize transitions and analogies and stories. All these things is you have to repeat again and again for the better understanding of audience. So the first one is audience. The speaker should focus on the audience, what sort of audience that he is going to get. And before going there, see, he has to organize the information that he is going to give to the audience based on their mindset. And third one is the complete message he has to repeat again and again for the better understanding of the listener or audience. Next one is how you are going to introduce to others. That's very, very important. Many ways are there introducing yourself. If you are very familiar to the people, those who are sitting before you, you can start your introduction in this way. Like, yeah, many of you know me. My name is so and so. Like that, you can, and completely new person to the meeting or anything like a stage. So you can introduce. Here I am. Though I'm new to you, my name is so and so. Like this, in this way, you have to introduce in an effective manner. Introduce yourself, providing your what is your name and what is your credibility and everything. And next point under this introduction is create an effective opening that will interest your audience. Means you have to your opening must be very effective. Means like pose a question which creates some sort of interest. Pose a question or share with them a fact, amazing fact. Tell a story, very interesting story. You just start with your presentation part, so that you can catch the mind of the people, audience. And the next step, what you have to take is reveal your topic to the audience and explain why it is important to them. Don't put them in that confucius state. Reveal your topic, what you are going to speak, and immediately tell them how important that topic is, why you are going to speak on that topic in order to grab the attention of the audience. Give a brief outline of the major points that you are going to cover in your presentation. Main outlines means subheadings, we can say that. Very important subheadings, so that you can increase enthusiasm in the minds of those people. Understand? So these are the things under introduction of yourself, you have to keep it in mind. What are they? Introduce yourself if you are unfamiliar or even familiar also. And the very effective opening that you have to give to the people, that is audience, in the form of posing a question or revealing a fact or telling a short story or an experience, whatever it is. And then next thing is reveal your topic and its importance. The third one is brief outline of all the major points that you have to give under introduction. And next comes main body, means main part of the presentation, how you have to plan. Explain your points, give clear explanation, provide sufficient evidence to be convincing. Means your presentation part must be convincing manner with clear explanation and with all very effective points. The next point is use transition between section of your presentation. Transition means like one point to other. Don't miss the link. Usually presentation part which consists of introduction, main body, and then conclusion. So in between these three, like introduction, main body, and conclusion, don't miss the transition, connection in between these three. And as well as the main points in the main body of the section also, you have to give very clearly in your presentation. And one more point in this main body is use analogies and stories to explain complicated ideas and to build reputation. Means wherever that you get very tough ideas, tough points, those tough points you have to explain with the help of examples or stories, whatever it is. Then the audience, they'll understand very clearly, so that they'll not go away from you. You can grab the attention of the audience. So this is what we call planning of main body. And then coming to the conclusion, planning how to conclude. So when you come to the conclusion part, signal your conclusion with a transition. Means you can say that now I would like to conclude in this way. Let me summarize. So giving a hint to the audience that you are going to close the topic. Give hint to the audience that you are going to close the topic, which we call conclusion. And meanwhile, see, you can refer the future action also if needed. Means what is going to be after this, see what they are going to achieve, all these things, and say thank you to those people. And if possible, if any query is there after that, see, like you just invite queries and feel happy to answer any question, so that the audience feel very happy. This is what planning. In this way, you have to plan in your mind about oral presentation. Next one is practicing. First part, planning is over. Well planned structure that you have in your hand. Now it is your turn to practice. Practice a lot before you are on the stage. Practicing your presentation is very essential, and it is at this stage the process that you figure out and phrase emphasizing and time of your section and overall presentation is very important. Everything you have to check. Okay. A few points I have given here. One is after preparing, you just record your presentation. Very good idea it is. Record your presentation and review it in order to know how you sound and appear before your audience. Means once you record your voice and check it out, so that you see where you are taking gap and where you are going in a faster way. All these things you can check it out. Next, consider using different colored highlights to remind yourself when you pause. Here and there, you just highlight a few points so that you can, again, you can stress on those points. Emphasize, we call that. A particular point you can emphasize. Okay. And then third one is practice in front of peers. This is very important. After preparing, after practicing, you just sit before your peers, means your friends, known people, whether it's your mom or dad or uncle or friend or anyone. Sit before them, start speaking what you have prepared and elicit feedback. Ask them how it is. Ask their feedback, where you have to rectify yourself. Okay, this is a very good method to get perfection. Practicing is very important. Preparing, anybody can prepare. But without practice, if you be on the stage, you cannot speak at all. So practicing is very important. And the next one is presenting. So it's the last stage. Now you are ready to present your presentation. Now, as person in charge of situation, when the person who is going to present something, it is his job. Means totally, if I prepared myself to stand on the stage, so that is my duty to feel comfortable and to give good presentation. Nobody can help here. During the process of preparation, we can take the help of your friends, your known people, or your advice of the scholars or anyone. But here, Practice also you have to do with the help of others, but presenting whole and soul by you only. Feel comfortable and engage with both material, what you have in your hand, and yourself. So, this is one of the best methods. While presenting yourself before the audience, first thing is maintain eye contact. Maintain eye contact is very important. Means you have to look at each and every one, those who are sitting in that room or hall, a place, with public place, whatever it is. Maintain proper eye contact. Don't look at the notes now and then. Briefly just look at the notes and then look at the audience. Gaze the room. Complete room you have to sweep once. Accordingly, you can raise your pitch, or you can estimate the people also. If you just sweep the room with your gaze, you can estimate each and every audience briefly so that you'll get courage. Be aware of your body posture. This is very, very important. Timid body posture definitely will not work out. When you stand before the podium, your body posture must be erect. Erect. Hold the podium. Hold the podium. Stand straight. Look at the people. Your eye contact must be very good. And then be enthusiastic about your topic. Means don't be so dull. If you can't express yourself, if you are not interested in your topic, you cannot present yourself. So enthusiasm, interest is very important for the speaker. And one of the most important thing is smile at them. Smile gives you boldness. Smile removes stage fear. So smile at the people and start your presentation. And one more thing is, here you can see in this picture one girl how enthusiastic she is while presenting herself. While speaking, one of the most important thing what you have to do is slow down your speech. Don't go in a faster way. No. Slow down your speech. Usually, when we are intense, when we are nervous, we naturally talk faster, speak fast. That indicates you are nervous, you are intense. Here and there include pause. Stop here and there. Allow your listeners to listen, understand. Give them time and then go ahead. And most important thing is gestures. Means hand movements, head movements like a nodding of your head, a smile, facial expressions and hand movement. These are very important. These emphasize and move about a space if possible. Means people, those who are listening to you, they'll observe your non-verbal cues also. What are non-verbal cues? Body language. Body language. Under that, eye contact, gestures, nodding of your head, smile, facial expressions, all these things. And next one is, when you are on the stage, calibrate the volume of your voice. Very important. Estimate the strength of the room. How many people are sitting in that hall? That is very important. How far that you can raise your voice. If the room is very small, you need not raise your voice and shout at them. But if the hall or the room is very lengthy, you have to adjust your voice. Means the last person who is sitting in the last row should be able to listen to your voice. The next one is avoid fillers. What are fillers here? Fillers are nothing but, see, during the process of spoken part, see, we people usually, we have a few things here and there, fillers, what we call, okay, aha. So like these, you see, we just go with these expressions. So these we call fillers. So avoid these fillers. It's very difficult only. It's not so easy as I'm saying, but we have to avoid fillers. And next point is Act as natural and relaxed as possible. Don't be tensed. Don't be tensed. Relaxed manner in a natural way, how you are talking to your friend or how you are talking to your colleague. So, in that way, presentation must go on. The next one is dress. Dress code is very important. Dress appropriately. See, here I have shown in the slide one picture. The person who is speaking with a comfortable suit he was in. So, appropriate dress gives you some sort of impression. Then the last one is answer the questions as clearly, concisely as possible. Don't go in a lengthy answering. Clear cut and concise, brief answers are inevitable here. So, in this way, you have to present yourself. So, next, let us move on to the PowerPoint presentation. So, to present orally, PowerPoint presentation is very important. So, here you see, nowadays, we are using PowerPoint presentation or other presentation softwares are very common in presentation. Every presentation now, we are using PowerPoint presentations and other softwares. But before we use these PowerPoints or any other softwares, we have to take very much care. Visual means that visual effects do not detract from the presentation itself. Means sometimes if we prepare the PowerPoint presentation properly, so that detracts from the presentation itself. Means we cannot go ahead properly. If you do choose the PowerPoint, try to have a practice run. Means after preparing PowerPoint presentation, first have a practice run. Then we go ahead confidently while giving presentation. Okay, so for this we have a few methods, easy ways to make PowerPoint presentation. Here I am going to give you 7 points. One is build your slides last. Second point is don't try to replace you. Don't try to replace you. Third point is use a consistent theme. Use a consistent theme. Then fourth point is one narrative per one slide. One narrative per one slide. And fifth point is fade to black when speaking. And sixth point is when in doubt, dump it. So these are 6 easy ways to make PowerPoint presentation. Let us quickly go through these points. The first one is build your slides last. What is build your slides last? Building our slides should be the tail end of the developing of your presentation. Means till the end. Once if you start constructing these PowerPoint presentation or doing PowerPoint presentation, till the end you should not stop. You shouldn't abruptly stop at one place and keep go on presenting yourself. So you could be tempted to start monk-eye. Sometimes while we are presenting, monk-eyeing means very fastly that we want to just finish it off. Sometimes we could be tempted to start very quickly, what we say monk-eyeing, with slides early and in our speech. So, but don't do that. It's like building the road without an idea. Well-designed idea. Even well-designed speech with a well-designed slides will give us success. And the second point is don't try to replace you. You are very important in the presentation rather than your software or PowerPoint or whatever it is. So speaker is important. Speaker's thoughts very important. His or her interpretations and insights are very important. Nobody can replace these. And you don't try to replace you by showing continuously PowerPoint presentation only. So, fancy transitions, YouTube clippings, and then tons of what we call that content in the PowerPoint is not advisable. So, one time if audience felt in this way, they'll not pay attention. So, in the process of this is You are very important. Means speaker is important rather than all these things. Nobody can replace speaker. And third one is use a consistent theme. Theme is very important. What you are going to speak is very important. What is your title is important. What you are going to, thematically, what you are going to speak is very important. So in each and every slide, you have to show that problem and its solution. Your speech, consistency of speech is very important. So this is very important. Means in each and every slide, you must show the theme of your content. Then next point is one narrative per one slide. One slide must have one narrative only. Means according to the experts, what they say, 30 minutes of speech will gives like a 32, 35 or depends on our like a content complexity. We can have 32, 35 slides or more or less also, no problem. But each side represents complete thought. Means in each slide, we must depict one complete thought. It might be presenting statistics or experience or anecdote or what is a lesson, whatever it is. So, complete thought we must put in the slide. And the next one is fade to black when speaking. You are very important. As I said again, previously I said the narrator is very important, not all these things, slides and all. Your slides are not a point, but you're the point. So don't show many slides to the audience to catch their attention, but you are important, your presentation important. Don't show back to the audience. This is very important. And last one is when in doubt, dump it. During the this situation everyone will get. During the process of presentation, it says slides can be essential, very essential, and they can also sometimes distraction. They can also cause distraction. When you are struggling hard trying to decide which slide to be put or whether it's important or not, if you are in dilemma, just remove that slide. Question yourself, will it make my speech better? Will it make my speech better? Question yourself. If you get an answer from inside, if not, say dump it. Means remove that. Remember, nobody will miss what isn't there because you are there to speak. You are there to speak. So these are the things that you have to keep it in mind while preparing slideshows. So children, oral presentation is very important. Everyone in your lifetime, you have to stand on the stage before the podium to give your oral presentation. But if you keep all these things, all these points, what I have discussed in this session, definitely you'll get success in your oral presentation. Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.